Hello children, welcome back. Today again I am going to teach chapter 4 Earth Structure part 2. So today we are going to learn about the internal composition of the Earth's structure. So based on the above chemical composition, the Earth's interior is divided into 3 layers. That is the core, mantle and crust. Now let us study about core. Now the core is most inaccessible parts lying at the center of the earth. Inaccessible part means a place where it is very difficult to reach. The core is the densest part of the earth and it is about 7,000 kilometers in diameter. Now the temperature ranges from about 4,400 degrees Celsius to about 6,000 degrees Celsius. That is, the temperature in the core is extremely high. It is very hot. Now the core is further divided into two. That is the outer core and the inner core. Now it is generally believed that the core is composed or is made up of iron and nickel, which is responsible for the Earth's magnetism. Now the magnetic field is oriented towards north and south pole. Now the inner core is in a solid state. Now why is it that the inner core is in a solid state, whereas it is said that the outer core is in a liquid state? Now the outer core is in a liquid form because the temperature in the outer core is extremely high and all minerals melt at this high temperature. So now you will ask that, ma'am, even in inner core the temperature is very high, then why is it still in a solid state? It is due to high density and pressure which have compressed the molten rock material. Alright, the inner core is in a solid state due to a great pressure of the overlying layers or overlying strata. The rocks behave more like solid rather than like liquid material. Hence, because of high density and pressure, the inner core is in a solid state. Now the S waves disappear in the outer core, which states again, or which shows that the outer core is in a molten state. Next layer is the mantle. Now this layer lies below the crust. Alright, now its thickness is about 2,900 kilometers and makes up 84% of the Earth's total volume. The mantle is further divided into two parts, that is the upper mantle and the lower mantle. Now the upper mantle extends from the Moho discontinuity to a depth of 700 kilometers. It is cooler and made of solid rocks, whereas the lower mantle extends from 700 kilometers to 2,900 kilometers. Now the lower mantle is hotter and denser than the upper mantle, and lower mantle is also known as the mesosphere. Now at the depth of around 100 to 410 kilometers, the mantle is partially molten and is known as asthenosphere. Now children, you can say that the upper mantle is also known as the asthenosphere and it is in a partially molten, or you can say in a liquid state. Alright, whereas the lower mantle is solid due to high pressure. Now, as I told you, lower mantle is also known as mesosphere. Now, as the pressure increases towards the interior of the earth, the density also increases, and the temperature over here varies between about 1000 degrees Celsius to about 3700 degrees Celsius. Now, as you can see in this diagram, as it is shown, that this portion is known as the asthenosphere, or also known as the upper mantle. Alright, it is in a semi-liquid state, whereas this portion is your lower mantle. Alright, and this portion is also known as a mesosphere. Now, below that you can see that we have core. That is the outer core, that is in a liquid form, and this is the inner core, that is in a solid form. Now, let us learn about Gutenberg discontinuity. Now, the boundary. Okay, this boundary, children. Now, this boundary where this arrow is pointing, this boundary is known as the Gutenberg discontinuity. Now, this boundary between the mantle and the core is known as the Gutenberg discontinuity. Now, it was discovered by scientist Bino Gutenberg. Its depth is up to 2800 kilometers. Alright, and here there is an abrupt change or sudden change in the seismic waves that travel through the earth. Now, the primary waves, also known as the P waves, they decrease in velocity in this Gutenberg discontinuity, while the secondary seismic waves, they disappear completely. Hence, we can assume that this Gutenberg discontinuity is must be in a liquid form. Alright, now this Gutenberg discontinuity, it is dense, probably due to a greater percentage of iron. Alright, so what is Gutenberg discontinuity? In simple words, the boundary that separates the mantle and the core is known as Gutenberg discontinuity. Now, let us learn about the crust, or also known as the lithosphere. Now, the crust is also called lithosphere because it is a sphere of solid rocks. Now, lithos in Greek means stones or rocks. Alright. And crust is only 1% of the Earth's mass and contains all known life in the universe. Now, the crust is a relatively thin layer of rocks with a thickness of 60 kilometers below high mountains and just 5 to 10 kilometers below the oceans. Alright, below the oceans, it is just 5 to 10 kilometers, and over here, the thickness is of 60 kilometers below the high mountains. Okay, now the temperature of the upper part of the oceanic crust has been estimated as 0 degrees Celsius, but is gradually starts rising towards the interior. Now, considering the size of the entire Earth, okay, the crust is a relatively thin layer. Now, the weight and pressure of rocks also starts increasing with depth. Okay, as we go downwards, the weight and pressure of rocks also starts to increase with depth. Now let us learn about Mohorovičić discontinuity. Now what is Mohorovičić discontinuity? Now this layer, alright, or the boundary that separates the crust and the mantle is known as Mohorovičić discontinuity. Now, Mohorovičić discontinuity between the crust and the mantle was discovered by a Yugoslavian scientist, Andrija Mohorovičić, in the year 1909. Now, it is simply known as Moho discontinuity. Today, it is commonly called by the name of Moho discontinuity. Now, it forms the boundary between the crust and the mantle. Like the crust, it does not exist at a uniform depth. Like the crust also does not have a uniform depth. Same way, this Mohorovičić discontinuity also does not have a uniform depth. Now, it is found at about 8 kilometers beneath the oceans and about 332 kilometers beneath the continents. Okay, it is about 8 kilometers beneath the oceans and about 32 kilometers beneath the continents. Now, Mohorovičić discontinuity, it has the characteristics of both the upper layer, that is the crust, and its bottom layer, that is the mantle. Now, the P waves, they travel faster in the Mohorovičić discontinuity as the matter here suddenly gets dense. Hence, the P waves or the primary waves travel faster in this Mohorovičić discontinuity. So with this, children, let us see or let us make a comparative study of the crust, mantle and core. Now the crust, it is the uppermost layer of the earth, whereas the mantle, it is the intermediate layer of the earth, and core, it is the innermost layer of the earth. The thickness of the crust, it varies from 6 to 48 kilometers. The thickness of the mantle varies from 35 kilometers to 2900 kilometers. The core is approximately 7,000 kilometers in diameter. The third difference is the crust is consisted of rocks which have predominance of minerals like silicon, aluminium and magnesium. Now what types of minerals can be found on the crust? That we can find silicon, aluminium and magnesium. Now the mantle is composed of dense and rigid rocks which have predominance of minerals like magnesium and iron, whereas the core, it has minerals like the nickel and iron. Now these are the major differences between the crust, the mantle and the core. And children, with this we end the chapter. I hope the chapter was clear. Now you have a better understanding about the earth's structure, all the three layers. Please listen to the lecture very carefully for the better understanding of the earth's structure. Thank you.